You can go.
Sir, are you from Indiana? Because you look like my cousin if he was a girl. Now I'm a level with you. I have been watching this whole character arc from the background, but at this point it is too crazy not to poke fun at. We are watching a man have a full-blown midlife crisis whilst throwing what little resemblance he had of a career away. P.S. This video actually came from one of you guys, so if you ever see anything that you think I should make a video on, make sure you send it to me on Insta. And PPS, if you find yourself here for the second or the third time, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, Dennis is going to ask you where you're from. So, super roast battles, a genre that I thought we had left back in the 2010s with the likes of epic rap battles of history. But it's unfair for me to even compare them because those are pieces of art. They're pieces of our history. Whilst this is probably something you should show to your therapist. So Mr. Dennis Noodle over here has had what he calls a long-standing career in stand-up comedy. But what he really means is that he spent the last few years talking about internet drama, or like I would say, being a reaction channel. But these days he can often be found on an LA street corner with Monty Lopez asking you where you're from, like somebody left the front door open at a care home. Recently he's been caught up in so many controversies that if I was to list them, it would sound like the end of a medicine advert. But now, in his 12th year of stand-up comedy, he has finally started to do live shows, or roast battles, which have been a resounding success.
Are you from Detroit?
Take a guess.
No.
So I'm gonna run through everything that happened in that hour and a half so that you guys don't have to, because my lord, I feel dumber now than I did before. By the way, this video contains insane levels of cringe, so apologies in advance. So the show opens up and he genuinely spends the first 15 minutes of it trying to get the crowd to cheer him on. But what they do instead is just sit there in absolute silence and then start chanting "fuck Def Noodles."
All right, everybody in the back. Hey, hold on. Y'all, help me. There we go. Fuck Def Noodles! Fuck Def Noodles!
Apparently, there were some absolute cheeky fellas that bought tickets in the away end to try and disrupt the whole show.
There were a lot of people who purchased tickets because they wanted to do some coordinated situation.
Troll flash mob.
Yeah, kind of. I think a troll flash mob is a good way to describe it.
Really, that's what it was.
Yeah,
like,
that's very articulate.
but it's like a flash mob is free though. These motherfuckers paid.
Yeah.
They paid,
some of them paid $50.
In that clip, by the way, he seems very proud that he has absolutely ripped off the audience. Like, he's bragging. He's saying, oh, they had to pay $50. That's so much money. They had to pay $50. Imagine being an actual Def Noodles fan. Like, you are somehow, I don't know if these people exist, but you are a loyal Def Noodles fan and you paid $50 to go to this show. And then you see that clip afterwards and he's like, ha, I scammed these motherfuckers. But at the same time, if you are spending $50 to go and watch a Def Noodles roast battle, then I think we've got bigger issues. He then starts playing a compilation on a projector of all the people who made videos on his first live stream. So just on the 1 in a million chance that this makes it into the third one, what's up, Hollywood? No? He's not gonna watch this? Damn. During this though, some guy jumps up on stage and I don't know if he pulled up Instagram Live or whatever, but he holds up his phone like this, starts dancing and cheering, and then Dennis the Absolute Menace bursts through the door, initiates combat mode, and pushes this guy back in his seat. But as with any noodle event, there are always technical difficulties, and for some reason during this whole period, the camera was just muted. So unfortunately, we don't actually get to see what Mr. Tagliatelle and this fella said. Also, I don't know where the fuck they were holding this show, but in my eyes, even with really low budget events, there's always some form of security. Like, surely he didn't turn up to that event without any security whatsoever. And if he did have the security there, why would they not try to prevent this stuff from happening? Like, surely they would have had a meeting beforehand knowing that the show was probably going to get disrupted. So why were they not there at the stage side ready to stop it from being disrupted? But Dennis somehow decides that the absolute best thing to do is to try and fight this guy. Because as you know, on the ticket website in the fine print, it said this was also a pay-per-view boxing event. Because we've not had enough of them, have we? We will come back to this guy in a moment though, because he is his own bucket full of cringe. This whole event just made my body shrivel up. So they finally start introing the actual show. Dennis comes out, grabs the mic, starts spitting some hot fire like it's 8 Mile. And then Corey, I think is his name, has like a Joe Biden moment and just completely forgets what the fuck he's doing. They're on stage trying to get this show back on track and intro everybody. They're bringing out the guests. They're saying this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so. And Corey is just there in front of the crowd doing his own stand-up routine.
We got Arthur Hamilton in the house too.
Come on now. Hey, we can get you a reparation check or something, dog. He treating him bad over here. Y'all don't let him treat the black dudes bad. Y'all like me, right? We gonna come rescue him.
This is wild. All right, Corey.
Look, Dennis is trying to tell people who everybody is, and he's just there in front rattling off his own jokes. And side note, I hate to say that people aren't funny because they could just as easily turn around and say the same to me, but he's really not funny. But then we get into the actual show and oh wow guys, it is some absolute highbrow comedy.
Okay. Both Ernesto's dad and stepdad were murdered.
Your dad was murdered. Ooh, yeah, murdered. And this...
Angie looks like she has 4 hipster boyfriends, 3 terminated pregnancies, and 2 disappointed parents.
And don't click off yet, because there's also this.
All right, everybody, give it up for anorexic fucking Wolverine over here. I don't know.
Wow. That really was worth 50 bucks. Maybe Dennis was right that everybody was scammed. So this Salvo guy, right, he is a commentary YouTuber, as is half the fucking population of the earth at this point. But I went down his recent videos, and for the past month or so, he has been on Def Noodles' arse. Like every single thing that Dennis has done, Salvo's made a video on. But that's not me blaming him, because it literally just shows how much of a downfall that Dennis has had recently. But as I said, it's very obvious that he basically went to this event to try and hijack it, make himself look cool, and put Dennis in his place. Which, fair enough, because for the past 12 years of his stand-up career, Dennis has always said, pull up or shut up. He said, if you've got something to say, come here and say it. And I'm pretty sure when he started doing these roast battles, one of the things he would say is that he's doing these events so people can come there and roast him. Now, whether or not this Salvo guy was in the right, I'm not gonna say, because honestly, he's very fucking weird. There's then a solid 30 to 40 minutes that I'm not even gonna bother talking about because they literally don't do anything. They just stand there calling people out in the crowd saying, oh my god, you guys are here to troll us, why are you here to do that? That's so weird, that's so cringe. One of the cast comes out with some really avant-garde comedy and calls somebody fat.
I just want to thank the captain of the SS Fat Tanica for coming up here.
And then after a little moment, people start coming out from backstage with their tops off. Because that's what we were missing. Topless dudes. Now it's a 5-star event. It really is the all-in-one though, because for $50 you get a roast battle, you get a pay-per-view boxing event, and you get Magic Mike. So they start arguing with this Salvo guy again, and I wish they wouldn't cut the audio so much so that we had more context, but for some reason he starts chanting, I can't breathe.
Everything else is YouTube. What are you talking about? You can't breathe.
As I'm sure everybody will probably already know what this relates to and the connotations, but it was the message that was passed around after the George Floyd protests. All I'm saying is that it's very, very weird to start saying that. But just after that, somebody rushes out from backstage and chucks a whole drink all over him. By the way, I have never seen somebody so excited to have a drink poured over them. It's as if you can see the exact moment in his mind when he realized that he now has a thumbnail and title. He's making me look like I'm on Dennis's side, when I'm really not, because that guy's fucked up. I really hope that this was just like a psycho stalker bit that he was doing, because all that I see is a guy trying to grasp at attention more than Addison Rae's dad. Honestly, you could say that about both of them. But the last 5 minutes is honestly worse on him than anybody else. He fully sits under the guy's chin for a good 5 minutes. He just comes across as a jumped up kid that has had way too much sugar. I think it's rather safe to say that Dennis should probably stick to posting random news bites about influencers, because this whole new stand-up persona that he has invented for himself just isn't it. And it's harsh to say, but I honestly think his friends and the people that he surrounds himself with are the main problem. Like, don't get me wrong, he is an absolute egomaniac, but the whole way through this saga, they have just been yes men. He needs someone to sit him down, look him in the eyes, arm on the shoulder, and say, lad, this just isn't for you. It all felt like some high school drama, and not even the real genuine drama kind. I mean like the Disney Channel shows in the 2000s kind. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you guys think there's gonna be a third show? And if you're passing through, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Other than that, see ya.